Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I wanted to start at 5:30 Central Time, but it's 3 minutes late. I remembered, I got the wrong brandy. I was grabbing Hartley VSOP. But I said, oh, wait a minute. That's not the one I was planning to do today in the Taste Challenge, although it's on the list. It was supposed to be Paul Masson VSOP. Much nicer item, honestly. And it's going against Presidente. I better put these in a bunch of challenges. I paid. Okay, I got confused about the pesos. All right, so I paid the normal price for this bottle in Mexico. I never saw the small bottles here, but I can get a regular size bottle in New Orleans or Metairie for $13.99. I saw it Sunday, $13.99. And then I had to pay $3.25 tax on it when I crossed the border into Texas. So I basically bought it twice. I said, what kind of deal is this? This is no kind of deal. But it's too late. I won't be bringing liquor back into the United States anymore because, you know, they got that free trade agreement. Yeah, that's why you're paying taxes on it, because it's free trade. Sure, right. Now, this one I bought at Winn-Dixie, and it was on sale for $13.99. About a year ago, they updated the label to blue. It used to be like a black and gold or burgundy and gold something, but they made it blue. I think they're trying to go head to head with E&J VSOP, which is probably the most popular VSOP brandy. And here's one that's coming into play, or, you know, I plan to do maybe in the summer or fall. Christian Brothers VSOP. Yeah. Nice cap area. Not the greatest looking label. It's like a stick-on plastic label. But they had sold it around here, but it was cut. I guess it wasn't selling. I bought it at Dorgnac's because Mathern's used to have it, but they don't. I mean, it's common sense, right? They're going to sell what moves and they're going to cut what doesn't move. Now they got the E&J vanilla and the E&J peach and the E&J apple and all of these. Now that's the big popular ones. Christian Brothers apple. Why these people like to drink these flavored brandies and gin and juice, I don't know. I hate that kind of stuff. I hate that kind of stuff with beer. But that's the thing, you know. So, hey, well, whatever you want to drink, drink it. I just don't like it. But that's me. I can only speak for me, right? Try to set up the chat. So I had to switch over to Internet Explorer because I thought I had solved the garble issue. But I had not. Now you can't mute tabs in Internet Explorer, right? It's so low tech in some ways. I just got to mute the little mic down on the. Ninja Fishmaster says, yo, back to you here in this early hour. But no, it's not an equipment issue, okay? Because if it was an equipment issue, it'd be doing it all the time on any platform, right? No, I never had these problems when I was in Firefox, but then they were telling me it's no longer compatible with Hangouts. Some issue between those two companies. Well, anyway, all right, enough of that. Chrome. So Chrome ain't cutting it right now. I mean, it'll work all right, but you'll just hear me like sometimes be like, and I don't think I wasn't getting that on this platform. And I checked the playbacks twice. Okay, so Paul Masson, I had a H, but I had to change it to PM, Paul Masson. aged 4 years in once used charred bourbon barrels. Well, of course they're charred if they're bourbon barrels, but at Bardstown, Kentucky. Now, where is it distilled? This I do not know. I'm not really sure. I know they originated out in California, but these companies get bought out and then production gets scattered. See, so on the bottle it just says age 4 years in oak. Well, that's true. I was in the actual barrel house where this is aged. That barrel house smelled good because you can kind of smell the bourbon and the brandy leaching out. Blended and bottled by Paul Masson of Bardstown, Kentucky. More like blended and bottled by Barton Sazerac of Bardstown, Kentucky, under a contract agreement. But, you know, most people don't care and they don't look at all that stuff. They just drink it. We know this is made in Mexico by not a company called Presidente, because it's not a company. It's Pernod Ricard. No website information for Presidente. If you get on the Constellation Brands website, there's all kind of information on Paul Masson brandy. They have sell sheets, tasting notes, history. And if you get on the Paul Masson website itself, because there's a brand website, all those kind of things. Then there's cocktail recipes, you know, if you want to make a mixed drink, a highball cocktail. So food pairings, very helpful. Pernod Ricard, they're kind of like Diageo. They'll give you a little bit of information about some of their big brands, and then other brands they have, as far as they're concerned, and as far as you're concerned, it doesn't exist. You can't even link to it. It's just same thing with Pabst. Pabst and well, I guess a lot of companies, they own so many brands, but Pabst has, I call them hidden brands. You'll never see it on the website, but it exists. You'll see it in the store. Okay. I think Heaven Hill is the only company that'll list every brand they own. Now, they don't show pictures of all of them or give descriptions, but there's a product, there's like a product area on their website. They call it product specifications or something, and you click on it, it'll be a scroll down, like a little list, and you click, and it'll just list all the brands and the bottle sizes. Their brands. It's not going to list their private labeled stuff, okay? Which they do. Just like Sazerac, they'll list their own brands, but not private label, like Caliber. That's a Walmart product made by Sazerac. All right. Now, I mixed them up before I even looked at the, I kind of screwed up, but and maybe I didn't screw up because I can see that one is darker than the other, but it's only a shade darker, and I would assume, will assume that the darker one is Paul Masson, but I could be wrong, right? Okay, here's my prediction. I think Paul Masson's going to beat this easily. There'll be no contest. They're the same price, $13.99 a 750 milliliter. They may or may not have added coloring and flavor. Brandy is not required to disclose that, okay? Whiskey can have those things too, but it has to disclose if it has coloring. I'm not talking about artificial. That's a whole, just natural color like sugar, you know, the caramel, burnt sugar in flavoring, natural flavor. Whiskey can have that, but it has to give a disclosure statement. Bourbon cannot have that. Even if they give a disclosure, it wouldn't be bourbon anymore. It cannot have added colors or flavorings. All right. And Scotch can have flavors and colors, especially the color, right? That's what That's why the guy at the Jack Daniels distillery got into that verbal conflict with the Scottish tourists when I was there, because they were arguing over first use barrels and repeated use barrels. I wish I could have recorded that. That was funny. Interesting though. It was, I want to say it was civil. It wasn't exactly a civil, because it got kind of like the Jack Daniels guy says, hey, you don't even call them barrels in Scotland. You call them casks. What do you put in a cask? A dead man. And I was thinking, whoa. The Scottish guy backed off though. But he asked a legitimate question. But I think he was trying to instigate something in a way. He was using a backhand method, because he said, well, why is that so important? Just, it's a first use barrel. But I think the training of the Jack Daniels people is to defend the brand. I mean, you need to be polite to the customers, answer questions, be civil, whatever. But their main default setting is defend the brand. They're like the HAL 9000 computer. Yes, protect the crew, but the overriding mission is something else beyond protect the crew. Even more, an apt description probably would be Ash, the character of Ash. That machine's goal was fulfill the mission regardless of the health of the crew. And his job was defend Jack Daniels. Okay. I already know which is which. Okay, this is no contest. This is a taste challenge. Yeah. It's not much of a challenge. To my left, it's got that funky monkey smell, kind of an odd sugar sweetness, turned fruit, like an old closet, some leather, that old yellow tobacco. Like somebody said, Levi Garrett, you talking about? I said, yeah, Levi Garrett. And I don't like that smell, and I can't stand that taste. But I'm not singling them out. I'm sure it's fine. I just chewing tobacco. I can't stomach it. This is sort of like that. Now over here, we have pleasant minty spiciness. Pleasant minty spicy. Fresh flowers. Not so much dry flowers, but fresh floral. It's like you're walking in a spice garden in a botanical garden. This one is so much better. And it's the same exact price, $13.99 versus $13.99. Now this one over here, it just smells so wonderful. Now you say, well, that's the bourbon barrels. They're aging it for 4 years in the bourbon barrels. So it's giving it like that oak, that vanilla, and all. It probably has something to do with it, okay? I don't know what they aging this stuff in down in Mexico, okay? I don't, maybe I don't want to know. I'm not gonna say it's a particularly a necessarily bad aroma, but it's just something not. But then the Ansac has that. Even the Hennessy VSOP has that. I don't know. Now let's go with the taste. I can see that sun coming up. It's almost like a gum base or a gum resin. Like chewing gum, like say Wrigley's Double Mint. I never chew gum because I don't like it. When I was 10, I liked it. Now I'm 49. No, just gum makes me thirsty. It's like sucks all the moisture out of your mouth. And you just go, I see people just chewing. If you watch videos of John Lennon, he's like chewing gum. He was a real nervous person though, like super nervous, like high strung. So it's amazing, these aromas. I wish I could describe them better. But you have to get them and try. Okay, now the taste over here. It's not exactly night and day, but it's pretty far between the two. This thing has everything going for it. Honestly, it might be the best brandy I've ever had, and I'm including cognacs, Courvoisier, Hennessy Black, E&J XO. Yeah, I had the XO and the VSOP and the FBI. 90 miles, Michael, 90 miles. Okay, so I'll say this much. If I'm wrong, I'll be so embarrassed. People say, you don't have credibility. Well, if I got this wrong, they would be right. I never said that they were wrong to start with. But this one is just like the perfect brandy so far in my very limited brandy experience. It just tastes so nice. Vanilla, oak. It's almost like a whiskey flavor, right? I guess that's coming from the bourbon barrels. I always say that brandy is grape whiskey. The body is not too heavy. It's like medium body. The finish is kind of clean. You keep going, Kentucky, and whoever else is distilling this. I got to check the Midwest Grain Spirits. I want to see if they produce a brandy. If they do, then I'll know. Because Midwest Grain Products, MGP, they produce a lot of bases that companies use. So if you look at a bottle and it doesn't say distilled in such and such town, that's because it ain't. If it just says blended and bottled in such and such town, it's coming from somewhere else. And more than likely, it's Midwest Grain Products, makers of macro liquors and craft liquors. Oh, what? There is nothing clean about this one on my left. You're right, maybe. It's gummy. It's got odd fruity sweetness. I don't know, man. But it's the most popular liquor. Now, think about this. Let me smell this Hartley. Oh, a Chihuahua. Oh, a Chihuahua buttered rum cake. Well, at least they say that on their website, and at least they tell you right here on the label that they're adding some kind of whatever flavor that's supposed to be to it. What the United States government calls natural flavor. This is not just a popular product of Mexico, okay? Presidente is not just a popular liquor in Mexico. No, Presidente is the most popular alcoholic, spirit liquor brand in Mexico. Okay, you hear what I'm telling you? Why? Maybe it's a family tradition, because I'm not feeling it in the taste, and I haven't been feeling it since the day I tried it. It's an acquired taste, you might say. Yeah, it's almost got like a nectar. I don't know what it. Oh, yeah. But apparently they mix it with Coke. Like most everybody in Mexico is drinking this, mixing it half, Coke, and then putting some in there. That probably masks things. Now the brew dude, who inexplicably stopped doing videos, but isn't that the story with YouTube video reviews? People are into it. They're hot for it. Then they're sort of hot for it, and they're kind of not too thrilled with it, and then they're gone. We've seen that same old story since 2006 when video reviews started, over 10 years. But he was telling me back when he was in the game for that very limited time, and we had done hangouts together, he seemed very interested in it. He wanted to do Presidente. He said, yeah, it's a big Mexican, his family's Mexican, so it's a big cultural thing down there. But that apparently isn't going to happen because if he split with the program. Now Tanya, she did the Corbel brandy, the XS, and she was interested. And she's still doing the beer reviews mainly. You know, it's almost all beer. And she has the health problem she's dealing with all the time. It's constant, chronic, nagging health problems. So that interferes with that ability to ever do any of these kind of things. I would have been interested in a point-to-point dual examination of the Presidente, especially. I don't think the E and J, the Paul Masson presents too much of a interest in that sense, that because I think everybody's going to like it. It's just going to be point to point. Oh yeah, it's so good. It's so minty. It's so vanilla and oak and all of that. So sometimes the more interesting examinations are for the more questionable products, the ones that present a lot of imperfections, let's call it. Especially when you get one person that really likes it and another person that's kind of opposed to it. Here comes the air conditioner. Mr. Tank says, hi, Ronald. Hi, Mr. Tank. Yeah, Presidente and Paul Masson. I knew it wasn't going to be any kind of contest. Well, another reason is the Presidente is only 70 proof. So it's relatively low alcohol for a brandy. I think it's almost like the minimum. I believe that's the minimum. You can't go any lower than 70. And if you read the the Tax and Trade Bureau brochure, which is thousands of pages, but if you read it, the descriptive part, it's sort of like preferred. It's preferred that brandy be 80 proof. I don't think it's not required, but it's what they would rather it be. And I don't know of any American brandies that are, I'm not talking about the liqueurs, the flavored brandies, like Christian Brothers Apple, but the American brandies seem to be all 80 proof. That's like this, well, isn't that the standard for about everything now? Whiskey, bourbon, whether it's blended whiskey, bourbon, gin, it's all 80 proof. Generally, the main line stuff. So this time my prediction came true. I said that Paul Masson was going to be the clear winner. It very clearly was the winner, and I would be able to instantly tell them apart, which I did. Now, God willing, Thursday I'll do another taste challenge, and I'm going to try to do and I'll try to set up the page today. I got to clean part of this house and go cut the grass and all, so I might get delayed. But I want to try to do Hartley VSOP versus Presidente. Hartley's darker, but it's got the color added. This one probably does too, though. This is about as dodgy as they get, as they would say over in England or Wales, dodgy, or Scotland. I mean, the aroma. Hey, buddy. And then this one. I think I prefer the Hartley aroma. There'll be no question with the aroma. Now, once I mix them, there'll be no question whatsoever. If anybody out there knows what they could possibly be adding to this Italian American, Americano Italiano mixture brandy, largely from Italy, what kind of compound could be mixed in with this that's giving it that buttered rum cake aroma? let me know. I'd like to know. It is bizarre. I mean, it is really bizarre. Okay. I think my daughter would like that aroma. You know, she likes those flavored things, those dessert type. I don't know, man. But anyway, Paul Masson, it's the best looking bottle. It's got the best looking label. You know, it's got a cork. This is not some plasticized imitation cork. This is a real cork made out of cork. Okay. Best value so far in the world of brandy. It beats them all. Paul beats them all. All right. Thank you for watching this taste challenge. And hopefully the next time we will be doing partly VSOP, an an American Italian product versus the Mexican import. Thank you for watching this video production.